Carlsbad usually gets summed up pretty fast. The spot where Legoland is. Fancy beach town. The place you pass through on the way to somewhere else, usually with a coffee in hand and no intention of stopping any longer. But spend a day here, or 2, or 3, and it gets a little more interesting than that. So we came here with curiosity and a willingness to follow wherever the day pulled us.
We're getting juice now.
Cheers. Now there are some set activities we have on the agenda, but a lot of it is just going to be asking locals, word of mouth, and just kind of going off vibes. And I'm floating away, so come on! FYI, Visit Carlsbad is sponsoring this video. They told us to do our thing like we usually do, which, bold. Good on them for trusting us with that. So we've got a couple ideas lined up, but mostly we're just asking around and following that energy. For example, our first stop came straight from a comment. So as with most of our videos, we're starting off the day with coffee. How could we not? So today we're walking to Steady State, which was actually a recommendation from one of you all. And you said even as you've moved out of state, you still order their coffee to get delivered to your house, which I think speaks very highly of where we're about to go to. And Editor Tony will find the commenter who made that comment. So here's what we got at Steady State. A PSL and a rosemary latte, plus a morning bun pastry and a chai seasonal bucket, which is kind of like overnight oats. Altogether, it was about $26, but the coffee was legit enough for us to go back and buy a bag of beans.
There are a couple of lagoons right off the highway here, but we saw some folks out there doing some paddleboard yoga or something and decided we wanted to do that too. Get out in the water, not the yoga. I don't have good enough balance for that.
This is nice. It is the hottest day of the week to be out here, but it's actually pretty chill. It's about 80 degrees, and being on the water makes it feel a little cooler. So it's a little easier. And there's no one on the water right now. It's just kind of us and maybe like 2 other boats and the birds and the nature preserve and kind of just relaxing, you know? Good way to start the morning.
You know, I feel a little bad because it's February and 76 degrees and we're kayaking in the sunshine. Last time we were kayaking, we realized after much deduction and jogging through our memories was in New Zealand, which was a very different experience. Probably like the most opposite experience you can get because it was winter in New Zealand. We're on the Milford Sound, it was raining. Beautiful, still beautiful, but very different scenery. We had thought it was actually Bacalar, but that was a canoe technically. And if you ever want a relationship test. This was the day we got engaged, by the way. An hour after we got engaged, we went to go canoe in this lagoon, and it was the most relationship testing experience. It was so crowded. We were paddling upstream. We were in a canoe, the both of us, and a canoe is way harder than a kayak. There was tourists, and we were running over people, and it was just a hot mess.
Give me your best guess of what these houses cost, because they are absolutely gorgeous. You got like your own little beachfront, your own little canoe section. This is lovely. Granted, it's not as cool. A lagoon is not as cool as the ocean view, but still it's a pretty neat view. Anyway, we rented these things for an hour. I'm sure it's coming up on an hour right now, so we got to get back. After we finished kayaking, we met one of the guys that worked there, Eric, and he was telling us he was born and raised in Carlsbad, and his absolute go-to place for lunch is a spot called Lola's. What is your go-to lunch spot?
I would say Lola's. Lola's Market and Deli, yeah.
But I also found out it is the longest operating restaurant in Carlsbad, or longest continually operated. I don't know, all these things are usually pretty nuanced, but if it's not the oldest, it is one of the oldest restaurants here in Carlsbad.
For here, please.
For here? What can I get for you?
Can I have a bean and cheese burrito?
So these are healthy sized burritos. I got the carne asada, which comes with carne asada, beans, rice, and cheese. And then Sarah got Eric's recommendation, which was the bean Bean and cheese? Just bean and cheese.
Oh my god. I could cry. I'm so excited. Wonder if they're open late, because this would be like prime late night spot after bar hopping.
We popped in the Lola's and asked if we could film for a bit just to grab a few shots and maybe talk about the food. Instead, the owner, Dee Dee, came over and helped us out with the history.
The oldest and the longest running business in Carlsbad. We've been here forever. My grandparents settled here and opened a grocery store in 1943, and we've been here ever since. It was a village, old Carlsbad. Now it feels like you got La Costa's kind of a different city, even though it's Carlsbad and Resting Ranch. So it just seems like a couple little cities all in one big city.
What do you want people to feel like when they walk through these doors?
Oh, well, we want everyone to feel included and part of the community. I mean, that's what we're all about, making sure everyone feels welcome.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Got beans under my nails.
Oh, I thought it was in your teeth.
No, it's under my nails.
You know why I like going to places that are like off the beaten path a little bit?
Why?
It's because we get to meet the people that own it
Totally.
and get to talking to them, and they're so passionate and they love everything about what they're doing that you don't really get that when you go to all the, like, the really touristy places.
And that was a damn good burrito.
That was a damn good burrito. We were like, oh, I can go for another one, but we got to fit some more food in because there's a market tonight that we didn't know it was here.
Yep.
That we're going to go to and hopefully grab a snack or two.
Choosing on you?
No, I'm grabbing the beer to drink it.
Yum.
We randomly found this place.
Yeah, we had like an hour to kill before the market, so I was like, let's check out the beer scene. And I typed in beer on Google Maps. This was the closest one, and it's so cool. It's like it looks like a house.
It looks like a house. This is really cool.
They have like the whole back open. There's this beautiful patio, and the beer is delicious.
So we came here to have a beer. Well, we didn't come here specifically, but we came here to kind of debrief about our initial impressions of Carlsbad so far. So what do you think?
Love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like all the best parts of Southern California in like a smaller town. Like you have a beach, you have outdoor activities, you have good restaurants, good like local food, you got good beer. What more could you want?
Yeah. I'd say like so far the food is what's surprising me the most being here. Like I knew it'd be decent food. They got Michelin star restaurants here and stuff, but like
That's
the
not
local
what we're
food.
about.
Yeah, we're not about that. But like the easygoing local food is actually really good here.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. And cheers to you.
Nothing like a beer at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Arguably the best time to have a beer, I think.
What is that?
Midweek, midday, you're just like, especially in a place like, it has to be like an outdoor vibey spot like this, not like on your couch. I should clarify.
This is the State Street Farmers Market. It happens every Wednesday, and lucky for us, we're here on a Wednesday. The market is full of local produce and food carts giving away samples. Lots and lots of samples.
Try a sample. Made right up in Oceanside. It's got a 3-flour blend of wheat, rice, and chickpea. So it lowers the gluten a little bit, ups the protein a little bit. Repeats a meal. It's a Roma.
Oh, I see.
I'm here every week.
Freshly made, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank
All you have to do is add the lemon juice and olive oil.
Every color tastes different. So help yourself. Big explosion. Good flavor.
So
Wow.
good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Let me.
Wild or cherry.
You're in charge. Anything you want.
Tomato. Cherry tomato.
Tomato.
So this is not the biggest market we've ever been to, but this is like one of the first ones where every single place will let you try a sample.
I think this is the happiest market we've ever been to. Everyone has
Yeah.
been so kind and friendly.
After enough samples, we decided on the macaroons for no other reason outside of the design.
Do you design all of these?
Yeah.
This is impressive. Wow. I'm gonna do Cookie Monster.
Thank you.
What's the name of your bakery?
Big Joy family.
Big Joy.
Yeah, tag us when you post it on your Instagram. Yeah.
Wow.
Can't say no to Cookie Monster.
2 macaroons cost us $8.50, but to be fair, Sarah's was only $2.
So many samples. You can have larger meals with your samples too, by the way. Anything ranging from pastas to Thai food. So along the market, there are all these really great shops. So one in particular caught my eye because it was called Rivers and Roads, which is a very famous song by my favorite band, The Head and the Heart. So we popped in and I got a graphic tee. Love a graphic tee. But shout out to Liberty, who was working there and helped us out. She was a delight, and she got to talk to us, or we divulged what our plans are for the future, which we're not going to tell you yet, but she was very excited for us, which made me very excited for our future plans. We're staying at the Cassara Hotel for this trip. It's up on the hill overlooking the coast, so you wake up with either ocean breeze rolling in or a prime location for the flower fields. It's a password. Welcome. We are at the Cassara Carlsbad. This is a Hilton hotel. It is beautiful. And there's several things in this room I'm excited about because we've been in the RV for the last 7 months. One of which, a king-size bed. Oh, it's comfortable too. Oh, I'm not gonna make it to dinner. Oh my gosh. Shoot. The other thing I'm excited about, which I feel like normal people would be like, yeah, it's a hotel, of course you have that. A shower. For those that don't know, I mean, we've been traveling in the RV for the last 7 months. We do have a shower in the RV, but we can't figure out how to turn on the hot water. And it's just like a hassle because that's where Otto's litter box lives. So we just go to Planet Fitnesses to shower or shower at the campgrounds. And now I'm probably going to take like 8 showers here in the next 2 days.
Our view will be quite lovely once the flowers come in. This is where the flower fields are, I think. And so you can see where they planted a bunch of them, but obviously they're not in season quite yet, so we're gonna insert some B-roll.
If the flowers were in bloom, this would have been a great spot to watch the sunset. Instead, we wandered around the hotel for a little longer and then headed to Carlsbad State Beach.
Well, it's just about sunset, so we went to the camp store, which is right on the cliff. It has the most beautiful view of the ocean and the sunset. And they're supposed to have really good like pizzas and beers, maybe some live music. It's a vibe. There's a lot of people here. A baby now. Pacific and Washington is a piece of cake. This is cold.
I take it out of my girls and smash that door. I fucked around with myself and I let you know that if you're up there watching, start the show. Say it's over, my friend. How long until the end?
While we hung out watching the sunset and listening to a cover band, who hopefully won't get us a copyright strike, let's talk about these pizzas. It's dark, so bear with me. Tony got his usual pepperoni pizza, but these have the pepperonis that are cups, which are actually the best. Ooh, they got the cup ones. I love that. I got the camp store signature pizza, and the cashier said it pairs really well with mushrooms.
You like mushrooms?
Yeah.
Those go really well in the signature.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that. He was not lying. It was so good. Anyway, our own pizzas and 2 beers ran us $56 with tip. Probably could have split a pizza, but we wanted to save a little for breakfast since we have an early start.
When you're cruising down the 5 through Carlsbad, it's easy to romanticize it. The flower fields explode with color for a few weeks of the year, the strawberry stands open up, and I overuse the word peaceful, but it feels like that. However, farming is obviously way more complicated, so to understand what goes into sustaining a farming business here, we took a trip to the Carlsbad Strawberry Fields. We're here to meet Robin, the third generation student of this family-owned farm.
I am born and raised in Carlsbad.
Okay.
My dad was born and raised in Carlsbad as well. It all stemmed from my grandpa. When World War II came around, our family lost everything. My grandpa then in turn enlisted in the U.S. Army and was a paratrooper. Back then we used to farm hundreds and hundreds of acres of tomatoes. When my dad came, he started implementing the idea of strawberries.
Is it just strawberries here on this property, or is there anything else that grows year-round?
Recent years, we've been kind of moving more toward agritourism. So in our off-season from the strawberries, we do a pumpkin patch.
Okay.
Where you'll see the big old Charlie Brown pumpkins, and we do corn mazes and a lot of fun on hands-on experience where people can just experience the farm and have fun.
Yeah. For the you pick strawberry events, what would someone expect if they were to come?
Definitely all ages are welcome. You come to the stand, you get a bucket, we give you a pair of scissors, and you just fill up your bucket. Super easy.
Cool.
You just cut it right from the stem right here. We're the only farm from Oxnard to Mexico on the coast that offers the U-pick, because just cost of water and labor is so expensive and it's hard to remain sustainable. I mean, that's how we've stayed in business, is so we just keep innovating different ideas to try to keep the farm alive.
Agricultural tourism, or simply agrotourism, has actually been helping the agricultural industry in a natural way. Agrotourism is defined as any business conducted by a farmer for the enjoyment or education of the public. It can be an effective tool to educate consumers about local agriculture. Robin's farm is unique in that it's one of the only places around where you can actually pick your own produce. So for a little while, you're basically a farmer.
Once someone picks one, how much time does it take for something else to grow in its
I mean, the
place?
plant is always producing more.
Okay.
So like if you kind of zoom in, like the little flowers are eventually going to be the green ones, and then the green ones eventually become the red ones. So anytime you see like the little flowers, the strawberry will come within.
I don't think I've ever seen a strawberry plant.
Oh, that's actually how we started the U-pick idea. My dad had a roommate in college, and he said, "Hey, how do strawberries grow? Do we pick them off of trees?" It's like, oh no. No. So that's kind of how the U-pick idea came about, was us educating the public on how strawberries are grown and where you get your produce from.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just kind of a new fun idea, and it's now our main attraction for our business.
So let's try these strawberries.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
If you know Tony at all, or have watched our channel for a long time, you know how obsessed he is with strawberries. So I think we're gonna make a lot of really yummy things with this. They smell delicious. We didn't get our hands dirty playing in the soil, but we will get them dirty playing with some clay. Handled Pottery Studio is right next to Carlsbad Village, and we're gonna meet with the owner, Micah.
Hi.
Oh. You're my favorite kind of doggy.
You're a happy dog. Oh, look at you lay down. Oh,
Stop.
okay.
Oh my god. You want to come home with me?
Look at the leg kick.
You
Look
want
at
to-
the leg kick.
You want to come live in an RV?
So you've been greeted
Yes.
The best breeder.
by this ham, this studio ham. So we have a beginner wheel throwing, beginner hand building, intermediate ceramics, so that's like ceramics tuba throwing, and then an intro, like a one-time class on the weekends, so Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So we work with local restaurants, hotels, just folks that are looking to have things personalized. We'll totally take on their commission. So literally, we do everything here. So I'm just wedging up our pieces, getting them ready for us to throw on the wheel.
So Mike is gonna let us throw a little bit of clay, which is a cool way to say we're gonna make some pottery. First, I gotta make sure I'm ready.
Get the hair out of the face. Mike is going to teach us some entry-level pottery making, but there's also this little cheat sheet that shows you how to throw clay. But here are a few of the steps. Don't quote me on this. Step 1, smack it
And then
down.
we're going to smack it down right in the center, so as close to the center as we can go. Good.
Step 2 is shaping your cone.
So I'm going to sit up and close with the wheel. My feet are flat on the ground, and then I have my elbows tucked into my body. So one hand on each side, and I'm slowly going to move my hands in. I'll start again at the bottom, and I'm slowly moving my hands in. And again, it's all palms, no fingers right now.
Step 3 is called coning down, I think, basically shaping the cone into a bowl form.
Good job. That looks great. All right. So,
Start. Yeah, me too.
when you're holding your breath up.
Tongue out, hold
Don't
breath.
forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
For time's sake, we're going to skip ahead to step 6 or 7. This one is called lifting the walls, bringing some height back to the piece.
I'm going to squeeze the clay, this clay here, between both of my hands. My hands are going to work like this. And I'm slowly going to move up, squeezing.
And step 7 is shaping the bowl into the style that you want.
Good.
Dang, you're just so good.
It's like my first one.
There is a point of no return as we're learning, right?
And I'm there.
These are Sarah's. This one's really good, actually.
Yeah, my first one's there.
First one was perfect. These are mine. This is my first one. And then I finished up with that.
We were wondering what happens to the clay that doesn't get used, especially if there's someone like us that makes a lot of mistakes. Turns out, it's still good.
Clay, and then we let it dry out, right? And so then it kind of gets it to be malleable and a little more plastic. And then we typically don't put it in these bags, but we put it in our pugger. This is the beast. And yeah, so this is our pugger. And what happens is after the clay is gotten to a good consistency, then we will put it in here. And so this is a big giant mixer, basically. So it mixes all the clay, gets it to the same consistency, and then once it's mixing for a little while, then it extrudes it into these long tubes. And then we're able to recycle it and use it.
That's awesome.
So it's still good clay. We use it for a lot of our different appointments, our one-time appointments, and then some of our members as well will use it. So we do give scholarships to folks. We always are looking to help. We have a kids camp in the summer. We have an after-school club for them, so we're always looking for that engagement with them. And then we do the open house in the summers.
Michael also supports our students' artwork to where they get 100% of the proceeds. Since you moved to Carlsbad, what made you stay?
Oh gosh, there's so many things. You know, it's such, I don't want to say vibe, but it was such a different vibe and a very relaxed atmosphere. You know, you come across folks on the street and they're happy and they greet you and everyone has a smile on their face and the sun is so good, right? And then I've come across so many amazing people here.
The studio started more than 10 years ago as a small creative space in Carlsbad Village. Since then, it's grown alongside the community, but the heart of it hasn't changed. It's still about bringing people together and giving them a place to create.
That was amazing. We had 3 chances, pretty much 3 mounds of clay, and you might know now, this might be a continuity error, who knows, I ripped off my nails after the second clay mound because they were prohibiting me from getting in there. So I was like, screw this, ripped them off, and then that didn't help at all. That ended up being my worst piece, but it was definitely a different experience, like getting to use your fingers. Tragic.
Tragic.
Anything for the art, anything for the craft.
It's been a busy morning, so when we went looking for something to eat, we asked Micah for recommendations.
The food. We are at Taste of the Himalayas, which is in Carlsbad Village. It is Nepali, Indian, and Tibetan food. We're here because Micah recommended it and said if you like a little spice with your meal, this is a good spot.
We decided on the lunch specials. For $12, you get a lot. 2 items, soup, rice, and naan. I went with the vegetable coconut curry and chana masala, which is chickpeas in spice and gravy. Tony got the chicken curry and the chicken tikka masala. And we threw in some beers too.
So good.
Yeah. Spicy?
Yeah. That's a 5 out of 10. This is why, oh my god, I breathed and I got spice. This is why you ask the locals where to eat. I never would have come here.
We were full, like uncomfortably done for the night. But we'd heard this place, Crispy Cones, usually has a line wrapped around the block once the sun goes down. So we figured if we were going to do it, now was the time. And look, if ice cream is good enough to cause traffic, we can find a little extra space.
Can you tell me about the process? Like, how did this come to be?
So the process, essentially, we're mainly known for our dough and our cones. The cone is essentially made from scratch. We make dough every single day. Once we do that, we put them in our kind of signature style rotisserie grills, where we put them in, spins like how you cook a rotisserie chicken. Then once it's like that, you dress it with either our traditional cinnamon sugar flavoring on the cone, or each week we have a new special cone. Once it's done with that, then it goes on to the process of the ice cream toppings and everything else.
The specialty cone changes every week. This week it was the raspberry truffle, which is raspberry cone, Nutella, ice cream, brownie pieces, and drizzled with raspberry sauce. Or you can go wild and create your own Frankenstein. For us, 2 cones were about $10 each. Crispy cone, chocolate ice cream, brownie bits, cookie dough. Way better than an ice cream cone.
What makes it better?
I don't like ice cream cones. It's just like, okay, for reference, we're walking after lunch 2 crispy cones and I'm like, I don't think I can eat ice cream. I've finished this. That's how good it is.
So you know she ain't lying. She finished it.
We don't know much about the history of Carlsbad, but we like learning a little bit of the history of the places we visit. So the next day we decided to switch gears a little bit and let someone else take charge. So we hopped on a food and history tour.
God, that was a big chair. A wise person once said the quickest way to learn about a place is through the food, and the quickest way to learn about the food is either asking the locals or doing a food tour. So that's what we're going to do today. We have a food tour set. We already had some great local recommendations earlier in the week, so now we're going to get some, maybe let's call it curated local spots. Also, tours are a great way to learn a little bit about the history, and that's like another reason why we're doing this. We want to learn a little bit more about Carlsbad's history, and this one's supposed to be really good with giving you the history of the town and giving you some great food recommendations.
Say hi to Ben. Ben is a part of Carlsbad Food
I always
Tours.
like the restaurants. I'll give you the backstory, tell you what makes each place cool or special. We'll have some food at each of these places, and then in between we'll walk around and I'll tell you more about Carlsbad. And the big draw that originally brought everybody here to this area was the water. But the vision for Carlsbad from the very beginning was not to be a big city. So the mission statement was small farms and gracious homes. A little bit more of like a humble agricultural farming community was the initial plan. This piece is maybe 3 years old or so. I mean, it's a lot of pieces at this point, but for a long time it's just a blank wall except for this little dude right over here. And I thought this was kind of a cool art piece. I started learning about it and I started talking to groups about it. One day I was talking to a group of people and somebody walked up to me afterwards and they said, "Hey, I painted this. This is my art piece. Let me tell you the whole story." And so that's when I met this guy, Brian Snyder. And the reason that he was here is because he was kind of mapping out the rest of this wall. He's responsible for all of the art here. Super nice guy. I still run into him every now and again, but he's done a lot for the art here in Carlsbad. And he's been kind enough to talk to me about this many times over. So we basically have 3 different elements to this wall. We'll start with him. Brian told me that his name is Doodle. And he says that Doodle was inspired by a bunch of old childhood art pieces. He said his parents kept every art piece he ever did. One day his parents handed him a big box of art, and this character kept popping up in a lot of his younger drawings, them in various places around the village. Almost as just like a fun little side project. They've come and gone over the years. Right now we have 4 versions of Doodle spread throughout the village. And Brian told me Doodle's all about reconnecting with like little moments of your childhood. In this case, something like the first time you ever put on a pair of rain boots. He says it's a small moment, but it's also kind of a special moment in its own way.
The coolest part of the tour, besides the food obviously, is all the murals.
You have a favorite?
Ah, they all look really good. I like this one. This one looks like cool small detail.
Is depicted on the Sistine Chapel, but her legs are not in frame, and he thought that she always looked like she was in surfing position. So he said he just filled out the rest of the piece the way he saw it in his brain.
As far as the food goes, our first stop was Village Kebab.
I'm full already.
So far we have had a delicious plate of some small like Mediterranean bites, and then we just had a delicious plate of spaghetti with a very plump juicy meatball and some bread and tomato sauce. And we were warned not to finish our plates at each spot, but Tony and I don't know how to not clean a plate. So we'll see how much more we're able to eat. But I think next we're going to tacos.
There we go. And then yeah, napkins over there.
Rule of thumb when doing one of these food tours is you don't have to eat everything.
About that history part of the tour, this is when we learn how and why Carlsbad started.
This guy, Captain John Fraser, he got here in 1882, and the way things worked at that point was that if nobody was inhabiting a certain piece of land, there was the Homestead Act, where basically they would give you a piece of land, and once you had improved it, they would give you become the legal owner of that land. So he digs and he does find water. He's got to dig about 500 feet deep before he hits this water. I don't know how he dug that deep at that point in time, but he starts drinking this water, and shortly in he notices that his health has really improved. Comes back with this really high mineral content and a naturally alkaline pH, which is kind of like the alkaline water is a trend these days. But it happens to be an almost identical match to another well in a totally different part of the world. So in an area in Europe that at the time was known as Bohemia, which has now become part of the Czech Republic, there was a town called Carlsbad. And Carlsbad was famous for their very high quality alkaline mineral water. It is still there today. It's called Karlovy Vary. It's not the same name. But John hears about this and he goes, wow, that's really cool. And he decides to name his city after Carlsbad because they have the same water.
The well here is still active too. You'll see people come here all the time to fill up. They will also let you sample the water, which feels weird to say since it's just water. Anyway, our final two stops are right next to each other, Witch Creek Brewing and the Strawberry Shack. Wine apparently pairs really well with strawberry desserts.
What did you think of the tour?
Great tour. I think that was our first official food tour in the U.S.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think everything else has been international.
That makes sense.
Normally when we do a food tour internationally, it's to like just figure out what things are and like talk to a local and learn what the food is. Here we knew what the food was, but we got to learn more of like things we have been walking past all week and didn't know existed or didn't know the backstory of.
Yeah, we did walk past a few of these.
Yeah.
A couple times
like,
now.
Like did not know about the water.
Uh-huh.
I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm afraid of birds, and Tony dragged me to birds. When we were planning this trip, we thought we wouldn't be able to do it, and then Visit Carlsbad was like, we got you in, and I'm like, great.
Like, yes.
Yes, this is probably our most popular animal here. This is Bingo. Bingo.
Hi, Bingo.
She's a potbelly mini pig. She was born on Valentine's Day, so she turns 2 next week.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
By the way, this is Erin. She's the one who set this up for us.
With Miss Cupcake the bunny. Who gets the...
So, I don't think I need to explain that we're here to see some animals. But as cute and as fluffy and as adorable as these animals look, we're here for something cooler.
The foundation has been here for 35 years, and then our Discovery Campus, this education hub, we're celebrating 20 years this year. And last year, our impact was 62,000 people we served through volunteers, through people coming in, through...
So Erin's going to introduce us to David and Colleen, two of the raptor specialists here.
We are the Agua Hedionda Lagoon Foundation. We have a raptor care program here where we have 5 injured raptors that we care for and do educational outreach. So we take these guys to places, schools and libraries. A thing I always like to say is that conservation is fueled by education. If people understand and know about the wildlife around them, they'll be more excited to protect it. And so I think that's a lot of what we do, is that education and maintaining that passion for wildlife with people around us. We are not like a breeding facility or anything like that. All of our animals they have injuries that make them non-releasable, meaning they would not survive in the wild. We care for them because if they were out in the wild, they would die rather quickly.
Now we get to meet the raptors.
For me, the really cool aspect that we have is we have 5 raptors here. So a raptor is, of course, it's a term for any bird of prey.
Okay.
So we've got 5 really cool animals for you guys to meet today. So this is Stripe. He is our red-tailed hawk. Now, something I should mention with all of these raptors is that these guys are educational ambassadors, and part of what that means is that they have some kind of disability. All of them have an injury that means that they cannot be released into the wild. Now, for Stripe, his injury is incredibly debilitating in that he is 100% completely blind. So you'll notice with this eye, it looks fully formed and functional. And on this eye, we'll turn there, it looks as though it's missing.
What are his other senses like?
So for raptors, the question that I get a lot, especially around dinner time, is can he smell the food? With raptors, they have almost no sense of smell. About 80% of chicks are not going to make it to their first birthday. So, you know, if you have a clutch of 5 eggs, on average 1 is going to make it into adulthood.
So he'll do that often with his feet, where he just steps around because he's not used to having anything around his feet. So.
Yeah. There we go. So this is Blue. He is our American kestrel. So obviously a very big size disparity between him and Stripe.
When a bird hatches, it doesn't automatically know what it is. There's a short window where it kind of figures that out. I don't know if you remember the children's book Are You My Mommy? That is kind of like that. It watches the first moving, nurturing presence in its life and locks in. That's imprinting. In the wild, it usually means mom and dad. But when humans step in too early, especially with raptors, they don't learn how to hunt properly, they don't learn the subtle social cues, the body language, the calls, or even the healthy fear of humans. Their chances of making it long-term drop dramatically. And that's why rehabilitation work has to be so careful.
Owls, believe it or not, can't turn their heads all the way around. But the reason that these birds can turn their heads so far is because they can't move their eyes.
Speaking of owls, this next one is also an imprint and maybe one of the cutest birds I've ever seen.
Potentially the cutest bird, depending on your preferences, but...
Oh, not to say it.
Oh.
It's gonna be different. See?
I like that one.
So this is Acorn. He is a western screech owl. So these guys are really, really tiny. Believe it or not, they're actually not the smallest kind of owl that we have here in North America. Quite 360, but it is the equivalent of turning your head to the right and like looking over your left shoulder.
Yeah. He's demonstrating that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All of these birds have a debilitating feature, some more obvious than
I
others.
think I might leave it on for now. Just so with Celerity, with her, she is...
Mini heart attack here. Thought she was gonna fly right into me.
Yeah. She is...
I think Sarah had the same idea.
Is a kind of nervous bird. She is our peregrine falcon. And I hinted at it a little bit earlier. But so peregrine falcons are incredibly fast. Cheetahs, I mentioned, can go 60 to 70 miles per hour in short bursts. Peregrine falcons get up to 240. So that is yeah. It is 3.5 times faster than a cheetah. It is faster than an F1 race car. It is mind-bogglingly fast. The way that they're hunting is they're going to get up real high above whatever they're wanting to hunt, and they're going to dive down at those insane speeds. But yeah, so they're going to curl up their talons into basically a little fist and just slam into things, going 240 miles an hour. So I mentioned with Blue and a lot of the others that they'll eat a lot of things, and they're sort of generalists, and she is what's called a specialist. And what that means is that most of her diet is consisting of other birds.
So they'll just knock them out of the sky and then pick them off.
So these guys are so fast that they'll slam into their prey and, you know, they'll usually die on impact, start falling. They can just swoop down and catch it.
Wow.
And it's actually how they train their young to hunt, is the parents will catch a prey item and kill it, and they'll fly with their young and they'll just toss the prey. And the young has to try and catch it. And if they fail, the parents are so fast that they'll just swoop back down and catch it before it ever hits them. They were once very, very close to extinction.
Wow.
Back in the 60s and 70s, we were using a pesticide called DDT. And because of that pesticide, peregrine falcons nearly went extinct. Bald eagles nearly went extinct. The California condor nearly went extinct. It was doing incredible amounts of damage to wildlife. So yeah, all of these guys have some kind of injury. But for her, the bones healed properly, but the tendons that hold everything together never did. So she can fly, just not nearly as well as she would need to survive in the wild.
Lastly, there's one more owl to come out. He looks like Mr. Owl from the old Tootsie Roll commercials, and I'm dating myself again.
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
So this is Who. He is our great horned owl. Yeah, he's gorgeous. I mean, they're all beautiful, but I think he's got a sort of regal owlness about him that's really special.
As you can see, no pun intended, sorry Who, but Who is missing an eye, which is a huge disadvantage for birds like this.
And of course those huge eyes. Oh, and right now he's doing a great job. So great horned owls get their name from those feathers on the top of their heads that are kind of protruding like horns. All of this is looking great. Great job, buddy. There's a ton to do here besides raptor stuff. Like we have a rabbit and a pig and chickens and lizards and fish, and there's tons of animals that you can meet and interact with hands-on. We're sort of a hidden gem, I think.
Yeah.
It's a really frequent thing where people will come in and say, I've been living here for 30 years. I had no idea this was here.
Much later that evening, we went back to Carlsbad Village for some dinner, and I had my heart set on some ramen.
Don't even know if the food is good here yet, but the vibe here is winning me over. And I got these. I haven't had one of these yet. Tastes like candy. So for clarity, we decided to stop at Gonzo for some ramen. They also have a bar around the corner too. We got the Gonzo Red, which is basically just a spicy miso ramen.
All the things you'd expect in ramen here. Egg, a pork cut, ramen noodles, and a miso base. We don't typically film a lot of nightlife. We're the old folks in bed by 9:30 these days. But it was fun to grab a drink at Same Same, take some photo booth photos, and listen to a live band play 80s hits. And that was Carlsbad for us. It completely exceeded our expectations, and it was a great send-off from our time in California. Next, we're driving to some more unexpected gems in the southwest portion of the US.
Welcome to the official center of the world.
Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss those detours next.
Never miss a detour.